Everyone was seated at the table, and the weekly executive team meeting was about to begin.
Well, okay, it looks like everyone's here. Let's get started. As always, with our monthly meeting, I would like to get a report from each department.
Well, production's light right now, but it's in line with the other manufacturers in our field.
Looks like our receivables extended out 3 more days to 87 days, but I guess that's better than the 4 days it jumped last month.
Sales are up 2% from last year, but are down 15% according to plan. We have at least one major customer who is indicating that he is no longer interested in representing our umbrellas. And 6 other customers have told us that they will be offering competitive umbrellas in addition to ours.
Wait a minute. You're saying we may lose some major customers? What's going on?
Now, Joe, there's no reason to worry. We've been hearing these kinds of threats for months. If they materialize, they'll represent 15 to 20% of our sales. But there's no guarantee that will even happen.
Plus, if the customers don't want our umbrellas, that'll mean an easier production schedule. Nobody will be complaining come summertime.
Joe couldn't believe what he was hearing. Nobody was worried or upset. In fact, they were almost comatose.
So what you guys are saying is that we're going to lose some major business. But if we do, that's okay, because it'll mean less stress, less workload. Let me tell you, if that was the goal when this business was started, we would have never met each other. We would have been out of business years ago.
What's wrong with him this morning? Can't Joe see we're doing our best?
I know, everyone in the industry is having problems. We're no worse shape than anybody else.
The rest of the day, the executives stayed away from Joe. Joe was definitely in a bad frame of mind.
Am I crazy, or are we too fat and happy? What happened to our fire?
Other unpleasant thoughts raced through his mind.
Are we going to have to let people go? How's it going to look if we downsize? How will I look as the leader of this company if we lose business?
Joe's Umbrellas was not a small concern. It had thousands of dedicated employees at factories and offices throughout the world. Joe had worked tirelessly to grow the company. What he saw in that boardroom was troubling. But what troubled him more was that it felt too normal. It wasn't that different from all the other meetings. It's just that today the news was bad enough that he felt it. He had been numb for too long.
Wow, 5:30 already? I know there was something I needed to do tonight. What was it? Kids' soccer practice, business club meeting. Aha, that's right. I've got dinner with my old friend.
He jumped into his car and raced to the restaurant. Bill was one of Joe's oldest business friends. Bill was also a customer. He owned a store that sold outdoor supplies and clothing. Over the years, he had ordered thousands of Joe's umbrellas and was the best dealer that Joe had. Joe noticed his friend walk in.
Hey, Bill, over here.
No, I don't care if that's the way we've been doing it. What do we need to do today? Well, you make the call, I'll back you up. And listen, if this doesn't work, give me a call back tonight. All right, look, I've got to go. This isn't a good time for us to talk. All right, good luck.
Bill and Joe had been through a lot together and had forged a deep relationship. They both respected each other despite being very different. Joe was the consummate big business guy, and Bill was an entrepreneur, a small businessman. Both were very successful and enjoyed each other's friendship.
Good to see you, Bill. So, are you still working hard?
Sure am, but being an entrepreneur has its advantages. I get to work half days. I just can't decide which 12-hour shift to work. Hey, I'm sorry about that phone call. I had to make a course correction with my sales department.
No. Sounds like you went through some of the same issues I went through today. My sales VP told me of some sales issues that were pretty disturbing.
So, what did you do?
Well, I mean, we really haven't done anything yet.
Sure he hasn't done anything yet. Getting Joe's group to move or change course is like trying to move a battleship. By the time you start to get it to change direction, the enemy or the current has already changed.
Joe was feeling even more depressed as he realized that he hadn't acted on anything yet. He decided to ask his old friend how he handled his situation.
So, Bill, tell me, what did you do about your issues?
Well, we're talking with a supplier to change a product they're sending us. If they won't comply, well, that means we'll have to turn to a new supplier. Either way, we'll have to change the way we price the product and the way we present it to customers. And that means we'll have to retrain our sales force.
Wow, that sounds like a huge undertaking. How quickly can you do this? That's probably going to take months.
We'd have to do it in 2 weeks, max.
2 weeks? What you just described to me would take our company 6 months to do, if we could even stay focused long enough to do it. Aren't you stressed out over trying to get so much done this quickly?
No, I'd be stressed even more if I couldn't move that fast.
Joe's mind was reeling from the conflicting thoughts. He decided to ask his old friend for help.
Bill, I need help. I look at my company and I see good, capable people, but they have no sense of urgency. It's like they're numb.
Why talk to a small business guy like me?
Because I miss the intensity and the energy I see from watching you run your business. We need that. And if we don't change, I'm afraid we're going to lose. Big time.
How can I help?
Well, you could let me observe you and your company from the inside. Let me be a fly on the wall so I can see how you really get things done.
Why don't you stop by tomorrow morning and start hanging with me, old buddy?
Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
At the conclusion of Act 1, we engaged participants in the first of 3 simulation exercises. The first simulation presented was of the company's impending demise and included a headline from 3 years in the future, stating that the company had closed its doors. We then asked the participants to work in teams to speculate on what led to this hypothetical failure. Each team shared their findings as well as discussed what emotions they felt. It was an invaluable exercise to face their fears and learn from them. Next, it was on to Act 2, where they would learn more about Bill's entrepreneurial approach.